Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a challenge that plagues us all at some point. Procrastination. You know that feeling, right? That invisible force field that keeps you glued to the couch when you have a mountain of work staring you down. The good news is, procrastination isn't a life sentence. We've got 10 powerful strategies to help you break free and finally conquer your to-do list. So if you're ready to ditch the excuses and unlock your productivity, buckle up because we're diving right in. Alright, let's be real for a second. Sometimes the hardest part is simply starting. We look at the big picture, the exam we need to ace, the presentation we need to deliver, the house that needs cleaning, and it feels completely overwhelming, right? But here's the thing, you don't have to climb Mount Everest in a day. Remember, every journey, no matter how daunting, begins with a single step. So what's your first step? Maybe it's opening that textbook instead of scrolling through social media. Maybe it's jotting down a few ideas instead of staring at a blank page. The key is to make it small, something you can do right now without overthinking it. Because action, my friends, is the antidote to procrastination. Once you take that first step, you'll be amazed at how much momentum you build. It's like pushing a car uphill. The beginning is always the toughest, but once you get rolling, it gets easier. So stop waiting for the perfect moment or for motivation to strike. Choose to act now and watch as you break free from procrastination's grip. Okay, so you've taken that first step. Awesome. Now let's talk about how to keep that momentum going, especially when the task at hand feels massive. One of the most effective ways to combat overwhelm is to break down large tasks into smaller, bite-sized pieces. Think of it like eating an elephant. You wouldn't try to swallow it whole, right? You take one bite at a time. So, instead of staring down a 10-page paper, focus on writing one paragraph. Instead of cleaning the entire house, start with just the kitchen sink. By breaking down your tasks, you not only make them less intimidating, but you also create a sense of accomplishment along the way. Each small win fuels your motivation, making it easier to keep going. And before you know it, you'll have tackled that impossible task one step at a time. Remember, progress, not perfection, is the name of the game. So grab your to-do list, break it down into manageable chunks, and let's keep moving. Let's talk about a productivity technique that can change your life, the Pomodoro technique. This simple yet powerful method is all about working in short, focused bursts, and it's a game changer for beating procrastination. Here's how it works. Set a timer for 25 minutes and dedicate that entire time to focused work. No distractions, no multitasking. Once the timer goes off, take a 5-minute break to recharge. Stretch, grab a drink, step away from your workspace. Repeat this cycle 4 times, then reward yourself with a longer break of 20 to 30 minutes. Why is this so effective? Our brains aren't wired for marathon work sessions. We need regular breaks to stay sharp and focused. The Pomodoro technique capitalizes on this by creating a rhythm of work and rest, keeping you productive without burning you out. Give it a try. You'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish in those focused 25-minute sprints. Chapter 4. Get crystal clear on your goals. Let's talk about the importance of setting clear, achievable goals. Because when you know exactly what you're working towards, procrastination doesn't stand a chance. Think about it. If you're aimlessly wandering through a forest, it's easy to get lost, right? But if you have a map and a compass pointing you towards your destination, you're much more likely to stay on track. Your goals are your compass. They give you direction and purpose, making it easier to stay motivated and overcome procrastination. So, how do you set effective goals? Start by being specific. Instead of saying, I want to be more productive, define what that looks like. Maybe it's completing a specific project by a certain date or dedicating an hour each day to focused work. Make sure your goals are realistic and achievable. And don't forget to write them down and keep them visible. It'll keep you accountable and remind you of what you're working towards. Chapter 5. Ditch the distractions. Let's be honest, in today's hyper-connected world, distractions are lurking around every corner. From social media notifications to that endless stream of emails, it's no wonder we find it hard to stay focused. But here's the thing, you have the power to control your environment. and minimize those distractions. Start by identifying your biggest productivity killers. Is it your phone, social media? Once you know what's pulling your attention away, take steps to eliminate or minimize those distractions. Put your phone on airplane mode, silence notifications, or use website blockers to stay focused during work sessions. Remember, your willpower is a finite resource. So instead of relying on it alone, create systems that make it easier to stay on track. By proactively eliminating distractions, you're setting yourself up for success and making it much harder for procrastination to take hold. Chapter 6. Create your productivity sanctuary. Let's talk about the power of having a dedicated workspace, a productivity sanctuary, if you will. Now, I know not everyone has the luxury of a separate home office, but hear me out. Having a designated space, even if it's just a corner of your living room, can make a world of difference in your focus and productivity. Think about it. When you sit down at your desk, your brain starts to associate that space with work. It's like flipping a switch that signals to your mind, okay, it's time to focus. So how do you create a workspace that inspires productivity? First, make sure it's comfortable and ergonomically sound. Invest in a good chair, adjust your lighting, and surround yourself with things that inspire you. Keep it tidy and organized. Clutter is a productivity killer, and most importantly, make it a distraction-free zone. By creating a dedicated workspace, you're setting the stage for success and making it easier to get into the zone and get things done. Chapter 7. The power of positive reinforcement. Let's talk about the power of positive reinforcement, because who doesn't love a little reward for a job well done? Here's the thing, our brains are wired to seek out pleasure and avoid pain. So when we associate completing a task with something positive, we're more likely to repeat that behavior in the future. Think about it, you wouldn't train a dog without treats, right? The same principle applies to us. So how can you use positive reinforcement to beat procrastination? Start by setting small, achievable goals, and then reward yourself when you reach them. It doesn't have to be anything major. Maybe it's a cup of your favorite coffee after finishing a chapter, a relaxing bath after a long day of work, or a weekend getaway after completing a major project. The key is to choose rewards that are meaningful to you, and that will motivate you to keep going. Remember, you deserve to celebrate your wins, no matter how small they may seem. Chapter 8. Let's talk about something super important, self-care. Now I know what you might be thinking. Mel, I'm trying to stop procrastinating, not schedule more spa days. But hear me out. Self-care isn't selfish, it's strategic. When you're feeling burnt out, stressed, and exhausted, your productivity plummets. It's like trying to run a marathon on an empty tank. You're not going to get very far. That's why prioritizing self-care is crucial for beating procrastination. When you take care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being, you're giving yourself the energy and focus you need to tackle your to-do list with gusto. So, make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating nourishing foods, staying hydrated, and moving your body regularly. Take breaks throughout the day to recharge, and don't be afraid to schedule in some downtime to do things you enjoy. Chapter 9. Let's be real. Sometimes we need a little help staying accountable. And that's where accountability partners come in. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how much easier it is to stick to a workout routine when you have a gym buddy? The same principle applies to productivity. When you share your goals with someone else and hold each other accountable, you're much more likely to follow through. So, how do you find an accountability partner? Reach out to a friend, family member, or colleague who has similar goals. Schedule regular check-ins to discuss your progress, celebrate your wins, and offer each other support. You can even join online communities or groups dedicated to productivity and accountability. Remember, you don't have to do this alone. Surround yourself with a supportive network and watch as you achieve your goals together. Chapter 10. Let's talk about one of the most important ingredients for success, persistence. Because let's be honest, the road to achieving any goal is rarely linear. There will be setbacks, challenges, and moments when you want to throw in the towel. But remember this, every successful person has faced obstacles and setbacks. The difference is, they didn't give up. They persisted. They kept going even when it was hard, even when they didn't feel like it. So the next time you're feeling discouraged, remember why you started in the first place. Remember your goals, your dreams, and the vision you have for your life. And then take a deep breath and keep going. One step at a time, one day at a time. You've got this. That's it for our 10 proven strategies to overcome procrastination. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about progress. Start small, be kind to yourself, and celebrate your wins along the way. You've got this. Now I want to hear from you. Which strategy resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Let's beat procrastination together.